Hey, thanks for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 10th of July. This is a book. I'm going over some information then and now on different things. Originally, years and years ago in the 80s, a gentleman named Ben Corden, and you can see, and L. Ron Hubbard Jr., right, who supposedly co-authored this book, L. Ron Hubbard Jr., Messiah or Madman, right? They came out with that about LRH. I was working with the church at the time, and they quickly, within 24 hours, came out with a thing notarized from Ron's son saying, I had nothing to do with that, I'm totally okay with my dad. Which I didn't find out the backstory on that until I left Scientology, which was they paid him off within 24 hours, and he signed a thing. So there you go on that. This was another one. Russell Miller never was in Scientology, but wrote Barefaced Messiah, a really good story, really good documentary about, point by point about Hubbard, really good. And then this was the third book, and this was it, A Piece of Blue Sky, right, by John Atack. And those were the three critical books about Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, that came out years ago. There may have been a few more, but those are the main ones that were always talked. And of course, people in Scientology never talk about them because you're not allowed to read them, right? So that was back then. There wasn't any internet, so those were the books you had to read. If you read those books, you were sent right to ethics. In ethics, they basically trashed the authors and, went over what's wrong with you that you're reading suppressive stuff, and this is going to slow your case gain, so it's going to take you forever to get free, and, different things like that, right? It's hard for people that have been born on the internet to even imagine a world without it, but it was very, 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 very different with Scientology, because you really had to leave the group, join a suppressive group, which, for anybody new, if you leave and speak out, they declare you as suppressive. Here's my SP declare by, you can see, the Church of Scientology, right? It was in September of 2000. They didn't do any, they were supposed to do all these ethics handlings. They did nothing. They just declared me overnight. That was it, right? I didn't even know I was declared, except I went and called and asked for my receipts because I wanted my money back. And they put me through to the justice chief, who said, you're declared suppressive. And I said, I have nothing in writing. And per L. Ron Hubbard, if it isn't in writing, it isn't true, because I wanted a copy of it. And she said, I'll have it to you within 24 hours. And I was like, good. So I got it, laminated, I have it. I've shown it many, 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 many times. But, because I think it's a great example. I mean, I met with a bunch of ministers, and they were totally grossed out that they would put something in writing about a person, and it says on the back, her only terminal is the International Justice Chief, via the Continental Justice Chief. That was it. So that's disconnection. That's a proof that there is disconnection. Okay, so now roll forward. There's the internet. By 2000, I happened to get on the internet. Right around now, I make 4,000 posts in 4 weeks, and I end up waking up. I escape out. They chase me across the country. True story. The Tampa police got me out of the Tampa airport. And I've written up that whole escape story on my videos. It's a 10-part series, right? So that's in 2000. They had ex-Scientologists and some critics back then. The critics were people who were never in Scientology, but started, because Scientology tried to cancel the one news group they had, more and more kind of computer people and people that were on the internet said, not on our watch. We don't know anything about Scientology, but they have a right to speak. So then Scientology attacked them, more people came out, it was like a snowball, and that's why I started saying, tick-tock, tick-tock, time is on our side. Because I knew the more they would attack people, the more people would go, what? What is this? Right? And that's exactly what's happened. It's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And all the ex-Scientologists who built the road, those original guys with the books sort of built the road that all of us walk on, and many ex-Scientologists, and then the critics, and then, of course, in 2008, Anonymous arrived, which a bunch of my friends have said, in 2000, if someone said you can have whatever you want, that'll help expose the abuses of the Church of Scientology, would we ever have thought of Anonymous? And all of us said, not in a million years. Yeah, we would have thought more critics, they'll talk more, blah, blah, blah. But nobody thought of this. I had said in 2000, there's an army out here, meaning the critics, because they were people that none of us in Scientology knew about. And there were tons of them, right? But now to have Anonymous around the world, it is just so great. I just can't thank them enough. Every single person that does anything, just a little bit, helps forward these abuses that these guys have kept secret for years and years and years. So now I'm going to show you a few of the, and I don't even have all of them. You can go on Amazon and see them. But here's Nancy Maney's My Billion-Year Contract. That's a good book. Blown for Good. Really excellent book about their top secret, Mark Headley, their top secret gold base out in Hemet, California. Amy Scobie has a book. This is Jeff Hawkins' book, Counterfeit Dreams. You know, there's just a ton of books. I mean, I'm only naming a few of them because these are ones that I have. I'm buying Janet Reitman's book, Inside Scientology. And there's a bunch of other ones too, The Complex, you know. So it's like people, Jesse Prince has written an e-book that's online that you can read. And all of these, as well as all the videos, there's tons of videos. Xenu TV has got tons of interviews. There's information all around the internet. One of my friends for years has said to me, Ladybird, you know, Google is your friend. And it's really true. You know, it's like you can just type in just about anything and find out stuff now. And that's the power of the internet. And that's something they can't stop. They thought they were going to be able to stop it in the 90s. It has not worked, Osa. It will not work. And it's like the more you keep trying it, the better it is for us. So keep at it. Keep fighting. Because it's good for us. It just shows people who you really are. You're not a religion. You can say you're a religion and you can pretend you're a religion. But for anyone wondering, like, what do they pray? No, they don't pray. Do they believe in anything? No. Hubbard said this isn't a belief. It's a science. But is it a science? A science you can test. You're not allowed to test in Scientology. It's a high crime to question the tech, right? So what kind of a religion is it? Do they believe in a God? No. Hubbard had one thing that said higher powers, whatever that might be. But he was against churches, angels, everything else. And now I got to go. So you guys have a wonderful week and get some of those books. They're very, very educational. I love you and keep at it. Bye-bye.